In 1973, screenwriter Robert Towne was nominated for an Oscar for The Last Detail. In '74, he won for Chinatown. So in 1975, it came as no surprise when the release of Shampoo made Towne, once again, the talk of the town.
The film generated a certain amount of controversy. I think some people felt that the character was artificial and silly and not worth writing about. There were others that felt that it was a very serious, although funny, examination of the life and times of our town.
The character in question was a Don Juan Beverly Hills hairdresser, played to perfection by Warren Beatty.
You can't hold him up as a role model, but I certainly don't think he's an unattractive or man, or I just don't think he's a very complete one. Well, other people were afraid that he'd be too unsympathetic. I wasn't. I mean, I think that he's an innocent, and I think it's hard for somebody whose sensibilities are that limited to be terribly unsympathetic. I think it's sort of like attacking a straw man. He's kind of sweet. He's a child.
Towne admits the character was loosely based on a girlfriend's ex.
I had been dating a girl who, this was in the late 50s, who had been married to a hairdresser. And to compound matters, after they divorced, he was still doing her hair. And I went down to his shop and found to my surprise that he was like some emir in a harem. And this man he was the only rooster in the hen house. I couldn't believe it.
And when Warren stepped up to the chair, the character really came to life.
He's not a mean man. He's not a calculating man. Indeed, everything that happens to in that day where he actually inadvertently has affairs with this man's wife, mistress, and daughter, almost by accident, it's not calculated. You know, I mean, he just, I think as he says, I can't seem to get out of my own way. I like the scene with Goldie and Warren where Goldie confronts him and says, "Were there others?" And he has a speech about what women mean to him.
I go into that shop, and they're so great looking, you know, and I'm doing their hair, and they feel great, and they smell great. I mean, that's it. It makes my day. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm going to live forever.
Parts of that speech are personal. I mean, not the that's why I went to beauty school, or not that's what I've done, but his attitude about women, and that they make him feel like he'll live forever. You know, that's sort of personal. At a behavioral level, the performances are, I mean, they're wonderful, and they're not exaggerated, I mean, in the slightest. I mean, they're very, it has that quality that I like in a movie, which is that you feel you're overhearing the actors. You don't feel that you're hearing them. When people read it, they didn't find it was funny, but when they saw it, it was hard to hear the dialogue there because people were laughing so much.
Ultimately, it was Towne who had the last laugh. Shampoo was a critical and commercial success. Plus, it earned him yet another Academy Award nomination for screenwriting.
Either come in or stay out.
Shut the door, honey. What do you think this is, a picnic? Come on.
Just don't let the steam out.
Oh.